guys, you keep looking at the screens today?
Definitely. It was definitely a weird week, and it was weird to wake up and know that there's other football games today. So it doesn't feel like Sunday, but like I said, we're treating it like a Wednesday.
Jordan, do you think you guys are doing a better job with the pre-snap penalties? And the reason I ask is you're going into a really loud environment, probably the loudest one you faced this year. Early in the season, those false starts were killers. Do you feel like you're doing a better job with that? And are you guys good on the silent count, you think, this week?
Yeah, I do feel like we've gotten a lot better. I think to start the season, penalty numbers, I mean, all across the board were very high, and it's been something that we've tried to focus on as well. And I think we've done a better job as of late. But like you said, going into an away environment where we'll be using silent count, not having any pre-snap penalties would be huge.
Jordan, what do you remember from the first matchup you guys had with Detroit?
Yeah, I remember, Detroit's a good team. They're a good defense. They do a lot of good things. And I think, looking back at the film, a lot of stuff that we left out there, a lot of misplays, a lot of mistakes, and just, obviously not our best game. So a lot of stuff that we'll be looking to clean up going in this week.
Jordan, you've had the same starting offensive line 10 of the 11 games this year. That Detroit game was the only one where you didn't have the same group. To have that kind of a consistency, where does that pay off, do you think, for just having the same group week after week?
No, it's very huge, especially just in the O-line group. To have all those guys out there, especially doing what they're doing and playing at a high level like they are, is huge. And we always talk about, the healthiest teams are the best teams, I feel like. So obviously trying to keep everybody healthy is going to be huge. But up front, keep those guys healthy. We got five really good guys. And like you said, missed Josh in that first Detroit game. So I know he'll be looking to get out there.
So much of pass protection is obviously on you being able to get rid of the football. When you have the same continuity with your protection, your guys up front, is there a certain chemistry that you can get with just kind of internally knowing what the clock is and knowing the time that you do have to get rid of it?
Yeah, no, I have a great feel with those guys blocking in front of me. And like I said, it just comes down to the chemistry you get with each other, knowing, Rashid and Zach asking me where I like to escape and things like that, where they're going to push defenders over the top or in front of my face, things like that. So those are all those little small things that just building that consistency and having those guys out there healthy, you can rely on. But at the end of the day, just having those guys blocking and straining the way that they do, I feel very comfortable behind them. So, yeah.
How much has your lower half just feeling good and not being injured, how much has that been giving you kind of flexibility with the pass pro schemes?
With schemes, you're saying?
Yeah.
I think early on, right after injuries, we might have changed some of the stuff, just not doing as much, maybe under center, trying to just make sure I feel great and stay healthy throughout the game. But I think pass pro, I don't think much has changed in the pass pro scheme, things like that. But like I said, those guys do a great job just in some of our base protections, just being able to keep me clean. So we'll continue to keep doing that.
What's the most important area you feel this team has gotten better since the first game with Detroit?
That's a good question. I think offensively, when you look at it, that's another game we struggled in the red zone. I feel like we were moving the ball pretty well and struggled to put up those points. And obviously it's a good offense over there on the other side, so we struggle to keep matching those points. And so I think that's an area that we've improved on. I think obviously the pick six was a key changing point in that game. So keeping having great ball security is an area we've improved on as well. So that'll be a big factor going into this game.
Jordan, what's the key to road success? You won there last year. You won at Minnesota. You won at Dallas. Why have you guys been so good? What's the key to making that happen?
Yeah, you just got to treat it like another game. I think obviously, it's going to be a loud environment, so you got to be able to handle that. And I think it starts with offense being able to get off on the snap count. We do a great job throughout the week of trying to emulate with the speakers and making it a loud environment, but just communicating in the huddle, everybody hearing the call and just being able to communicate in a loud environment, I think is the biggest thing. But other than that, it's just another game. You kind of try and just block all that stuff out, but the noise of the crowd definitely is a factor.
Jordan, the common denominators in the wins he's talking about is it indoors. And you guys won another indoor game this year in LA. I know you want to be built for here in the cold weather and all that stuff, but what makes you guys tough to defend on turf inside?
Yeah, I mean, I think, like you said, I don't know how much that plays a factor. Obviously, when you're indoors, you're not dealing with the elements, things like that. But it's just another game. I think the indoor and all that stuff. We just got to go find a way to win. So, like you said, we've won a game in LA indoor. So, I think it'll be the same. We got to go handle business.
How much Joseph made the big play in the last game and has a bunch of interceptions this season? From what you've been able to see in person, on tape, what is it that enables him to kind of be so effective in getting those big plays, those takeaways?
Yeah, Kirby's a ball hawk. He's playing the post for the most part, and he does a good job. And he has a really good range, can cover the field, does a good job playing the quarterback, and then he's just one of those guys who makes plays when the ball's in the air. He's another guy who you don't see him dropping a lot of plays. Similar to Xavier McKinney. So he's a ball hawk. He's going to make the plays when the ball's in the air. So he's definitely a guy you got to know where he's at.
Does it matter at all, Jordan, that this team is young as it is? That when you guys walk out of the tunnel on Thursday night over there, that guys are gonna be like, all right, yeah, we won here last year, like in this building, this environment. I mean, does that matter?
Yeah, I mean, you can lean on that, but I think no matter who it is, if we had a whole new team, guys be confident. We're confident every game we go into, and obviously. I think we have enough motivation having lost the first game to these guys. So, we owe them, and we'll be able to go put up a good fight in Detroit. But I'm confident that everybody's going to be ready for this game in
Jordan,
Thursday.
This is no slight on Carlson or Braden, but how much confidence does it give the team when you have a kicker like Brandon who's been doing this for a decade? That when he goes out there, you don't have much doubt that he's going to make it? Definitely.
We have a lot of confidence, and I think, since he's got here, he's just proven, who he is and what he's about. He's made some really big time kicks for us, and he's came in and taken over that role, and he's done a great job. So obviously, like you said, he's a vet. He's been around. He's made a lot of big time kicks and a lot of big time games. So I think it was just getting around him and getting to know him, which has been fun. But you look at last week's game, just having all those kicks, having the 2-minute drive before the half, to know that you got a guy who you just got to get into his range and he's going to put it through the uprights it's a good feeling to have.
Jordan, I know that the mentality is often one game at a time, but how much is momentum a factor? You guys have won 3 straight out of the bye week, and you're going into a hostile environment.
Yeah, momentum definitely plays a huge factor. Like you said, we're on a little bit of a win streak, so we want to keep that rolling. And there's definitely some good vibes going around the locker room right now. But like I said, whether we're on a lose streak or winning streak, we know what type of game this is, and it's an NFC North game, and we're I think 1-2 in the NFC North right now, so we got some catching up to do. So we're going to be ready to go.
Having said that, is this pretty much your last chance to stay in the hunt for a division crown? I mean, losing this would be pretty difficult to come back from and win the division.
Yeah, we're ready to go get a win on Thursday.
Last year's game in Detroit was a bit of a breakout for you, obviously. What do you remember about that, and how important was that game for you at that time?
Yeah, last year was similar to this year. We had played them earlier in the year at home. We lost, and so we knew what type of team we were playing, and we were confident that we had to go in there and get a win. Similar situation, but I like the mindset we had last year, and I think we're going to take that same approach. That it's about us. We got to go in there, handle business, and we know they're a good team. But if we do what we are good at, if we just play our brand of football and just be consistent throughout the whole course of the game, good things will happen.
Did that change anything for you and your confidence being able to go in that type of environment against a really good team and playing the way you did?
Definitely. I think last year, we knew what type of team we had. Obviously, we hadn't been playing our best yet, and had lost some close games. But to be able to go in there, obviously a hostile environment, to a team we already lost to, a really good team last year as well, definitely gave us some confidence going forward.
Jordan, have you gone back and looked at the first game against these guys already this week? Have you already gone back and looked at the film?
Mm-hmm.
So when you're doing that, what are the things that you're looking at? What are you looking to see from rewatching it? What do you look at for?
You look at everything. You look at the plays we ran, the coverages they run, the pressures they bring. a little bit of everything. How certain guys you can attack. If we miss protection, things like that. Just little tips that'll help us going forward.
So do you look at yourself and how does the dude wearing 10 look different now than he did coming off the groin injury, still dealing with the knee? How different does the guy wearing number 10 look on that film versus how he feels today?
Yeah, like I said, it was coming off the injury, but I was confident going to that game. I felt decent going to that game. Obviously there was a lot of factors playing in that game with the rain, and the elements, things like that. But I think at this point in the season, I'm definitely a little bit more healthy. So, I'll definitely be maybe a little bit different style of play out there, being able to extend plays more, things like that. But yeah.
So the reason I'm asking is because you talked about the vibe in here. I'm just wondering if some of that comes from the confidence of you being you again, and you can feel that around here, because I know you expect to be judged if you go out there regardless, but you weren't yourself the last time you played them, and now you are. Can you feel that from your teammates?
No, I think it's more everybody in this locker room. We're all playing at a high level, and at the end of the day, we talk about just control what you can control, going out there, playing your part as a team. So, I think everybody as a collective is feeling good because we're winning. Guys are doing their job, and guys are making plays. So I don't think it's just me. I think it takes everybody in this locker room.
What kind of similar theme, but when you watch their film with all the injuries they have, I mean, what are you looking at? I mean, it's totally different personnel. You expect the same defense, wholesale changes because it's different personnel. What do you think?
No, you take all that into consideration. Look at our game. You go back and watch their game against the Bears last week, and just they got a couple new faces out there. A couple guys have been banged up, so some of the things they've done have changed a little bit. But I mean, you take all that. Every week there's so many different things defenses do, and they adjust week to week. So you gotta kind of just look at everything and see what their game plan might be for this week, and then obviously when we get out there Thursday, we'll make some in-game adjustments based on what they're doing.
When you're under center, you got Jay Reed in motion and Josh Jacobs behind you. Have you got a better chance of deceiving where the linebackers think the plays can go, as opposed to when you're in the shotgun? I mean, could you talk about the differences between being under center and being in a shotgun and deceiving your opponent?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure exactly how a defense might look at that. They might look at it completely different. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely different snap points you do versus when you're under center versus when you're in the gun. So I think, it all just is decoy sometimes to disguise certain plays and make things look the same and just put that consternation on the defense. But I'm not really sure if, from a defense perspective, if gun versus under center changes some of those things.
Two more. Jordan, from the Josh running in with the plated turkey to all the wide receivers and the running backs, you guys doing that celebration where the pay, get money, and then motion toward a first down. It just seems like this team's having a lot of fun. How much have you seen that over these last couple of weeks, and how much can that impact the game coming up?
Yeah, I think winning is fun. So anytime you're winning and you're getting on a win streak, like I said, there's going to be good vibes in the locker room, and you want to keep that going. But it all starts with winning. So winning is fun.
Maybe the premise here is wrong, so if it is, let me know. But you like to throw the ball downfield, but you also got a bunch of yak guys. Does that help with the yak, that you can stretch the field vertically, just maybe give them an easier chance to pick up things? Does it kind of work together maybe?
Sorry, say that again.
Yeah, you like to throw it deep. So I would think that stretches the field vertically on the defense. But you have some yak guys too. Does that help those guys after the catch, that you stretch the field vertically, so maybe it helps them after the catch?
Definitely.
Or am I wrong?
No, definitely.
Okay.
Pretty much what you said. I mean, when you're running guys deep, the defense has to respect that, and if they do, they're going to stay on top, and it's definitely going to create more room from the the second and third level. So that's when you can find those underneath guys, and you make one guy miss. Like you said, there's a lot of room between you and the next man. So it's kind of what we try and take advantage of on some of those plays is if they're not respecting the deep balls, we'll just take the underneath stuff and let these guys go eat.